Ross, well, as Brisbane finalises preparations for the G20 summit, there's a showdown looming in the Coral Sea potentially. There are reports this morning that a third Australian warship has been sent to intercept a Russian flotilla. Joining us now is Federal Communications Minister Malcolm Turnbull and Deputy Opposition Leader Tanya Plibersek. Good morning to you too. Thank you for being with us. Malcolm, it doesn't look like you're sweating bullets.
No, and I think we want to be careful about using words like intercept. I mean, countries have navies for many reasons, and one of them is to project force and in the case of Russia, clearly force and grandeur. And the Russian Navy is in our part of the world as part of an international relations exercise showing that Russia's still on the map and still a powerful country. And
so it is provocative. It is a show of force. Then we should be worried.
Well, no, we shouldn't. We should not be worried at all. But I mean, the Navy is part of every country's defence force, and when you send it out to sea, and in a group like this, you are projecting force and saying, "Here I am. I'm still on the map. I'm still strong and important."
Like we didn't know that anyway.
Carl, I think it's very important, Carl, that we don't overreact to this incident because, of course, the Russian ships are in international waters. They've got every right to be where they are. It's not unusual that they are where they are. It would be a lot more unusual if they were sitting in the Brisbane River. At this stage, I think people just need to take a chill pill, just as Malcolm has.
OK, Malcolm, we all need to take a chill pill, but you're sending a third ship out there just to, what, observe?
Well, of course, this is all part of the. I mean, I'm not privy to the latest naval manoeuvres, but Carl, as Tanya says, this is all very normal, and this is what navies do. They, join the Navy, see the world, and they get around. And I don't think this is despite the desire to beat it up. I mean, I'm surprised. Frankly, that up there in Brisbane, the Courier Mail isn't promoting some good fishing spots on the Brisbane River, inviting the Russians to come in and throw a line in.
Well, they do that anyway. The Courier Mail, it's a fine publication. On the Courier Mail, it's asking for an apology this morning. Tanya, should we get an apology from Vladimir Putin?
Well, I think the families of those who lost their lives when MH17 was shot down certainly deserve an explanation and an apology. It's not about what the Australian government needs, it's about what the families of those who lost their lives need. And they need someone to be held accountable for what happened, and they need answers why this happened. And of course, for those 9 people whose bodies have not yet been recovered, those families in particular need access to the crash site for authorities to recover those remains. So there's still a great deal that should happen, and we believe that Vladimir Putin has the key to many of those things.
OK. Next up, China and the US...
Can I just say, that's absolutely correct. I mean, the one person who knows exactly what happened is Vladimir Putin. So he is in a position to set out the facts clearly, cogently, and accept responsibility for the actions of a group of rebels, insurgents, whatever you want to call them, who were being supported by Russia operating within the Ukraine as part of a separatist movement there. And he should set out those facts, take responsibility, express his compassion and condolences, and apologise for this terrible event. And Tanya and I unusually are in complete agreement on this.
Let's talk about something you don't agree on, and that's China and the US have made a climate change pact, agreeing to work together on reducing emissions. Malcolm, you can't be happy with where we're sitting, given that potential deal for China and also the US to cut emissions? Well,
the government has welcomed this agreement, number one. Number two, Australia does have an ambitious emission reduction target. Our reduction by 2020 is comparable to the targets described by China and America. Can I say it is very, very encouraging, in fact, something of a relief to see at long last agreement between China and America. It's early days yet, but China is making a very concerted move against burning coal. It is determined to reduce emissions in China, not just for climate change reasons, but because of general atmospheric pollution, as anyone who's been to a big Chinese city recently would know. And that is that's environmental issues are becoming a very, very important topic and agenda in China, and that is one country in the world that's able to move quickly.
Just quickly, Tanya,
Carl,
very quickly.
Well, I've got to say, our excuse, the Liberals' excuse was always that the rest of the world wasn't acting, Australia shouldn't act. You've now got the world's two largest economies, two largest polluters taking substantial action on climate change. Malcolm always said that the Liberals' policy was just a fig leaf to cover up a determination to do nothing. He is right then. Australia needs to be part of this world move. We've already lost, for example, 100 jobs of people who were creating the towers for wind farms just recently because we've taken this step backwards when it comes to tackling climate change. We're losing those clean green jobs and we're being left behind.
All right, we do have to go, Malcolm. Unfortunately, I can't ask about the impending divorce between Clive Palmer and Jackie Lambie. We really wanted to find out from you how Clive is.
I've
been worried.
actually, but that's a...
They can probably speak for themselves, I think, Carl. They're doing a pretty good job.
Well, Malcolm's stuck in the middle.
I'm not going to offer a sort of a reconciliation meeting at the Wild Duck, but if Tanya wants to do so, there's a booth there that I'm sure is available.
Oh, I love the manoeuvrings. Thank you, you two. We'll see you very soon. Okay, let's get back to Ben in the studio now.